you start to realize that nobody knows what they're doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's trying to figure it out. We're all just kids just playing this game, like trying to figure out what the next joint is.
TheMIND is a producer and singer who is a part of the four-man production group Them People, whose frequent collaborators consist of Chicago's own Chance, the rapper, No Name, and Mick Jenkins.
But you're only an imposter until somebody calls you a professional in that space, right? It's something humbling and beautiful about being surrounded by specialists, around being surrounded by individuals who really know what they're doing. Like, I don't like being the smartest person in the room. Problems of why you can't get to the next place that you're going is because I'm wrapped up in someone else's perception of who I'm supposed to be.
Why do mean girls attract you?
Because I kind of know that that's not.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Boy R Show. Of course, I'm him. Today, I have a very special guest joining me. The king of rabbit hole music.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Peace, man. How you feeling?
I'm Gucci, man. I'm Gucci, man. It's a good time. It's hot as hell in New York, but we having a great time. It's
yeah.
tight.
From what I learned, you know, you're not like new to New York because you used to frequent New York, right?
Yeah, from Philly. I grew up in Philly, so before I moved to Chicago, I used to go back and forth to him. The first person that my dad ever introduced me to that did music is an artist, actor named David Rain, and so he was like had me coming back and forth from Philly to come up here to meet with David and go to this little janky studio. You know what I'm saying? It didn't seem janky at the time. It was great. You know what I'm saying? They had the Macs with the colored backs and shit like that. I thought we was going crazy. I was like, damn, y'all got the freaky Macs in here. But yeah, and I used to do that like every other weekend and stuff like that. So that was like the first, and we used to come up here for Broadway shows, all types of stuff. It was crazy. Yeah.
When you come now, I guess you're on press, but what do you do for enjoyment?
We don't even have time for that. I guess we just be like, we eat good food, chill with good people. You know what I'm saying? A couple of my homies live here, so they're DJs. So we'll probably go out to their parties or something if we, feel up to it. But the majority of the time, like, nah, we just in and out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we leave tomorrow, so it's been a quick trip, but like a productive trip for sure. Yeah.
Now, I ask everybody this question, man, and it's just to see where your mind is at. But if you could do something again that you did over the last few days, I guess it was very memorable for you. If you could do it again, what would that thing be for you?
Over the last few days?
The last few days, something that you did and you felt like, man, I would want to live this again, live this
it twice
again.
Yeah, probably the screening. I think like I was so much like on antsy mode, like where we was trying to figure out a lot of stuff. So my anxiety was running high, but my family was there. My family drove up from Philly and stuff like that. And, it was a really good time that I wish that I could have centered myself a lot better. And so, yeah, that was yesterday. So, yeah, that would probably be the only thing. But that was like, because it was so beautiful. And I feel like I didn't really experience it the best way that I could. I feel like that about a lot of moments. But yesterday, for sure, it was really dope. Like, it was packed out there. Like, everybody enjoyed themselves. I wish that I was, like, fully present in that moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hold on, go into that, though. Why? You think you were too focused on trying to create or I guess, entertain everybody and it just didn't go the way? Okay.
Yeah, it's that. It's like a lot of times we're perfectionists. We trying to like make the best product ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think in a lot of those moments, I'm trying to make sure that everything is up to a certain standard that we've set for ourselves. Nobody else set this for us, but we set it to ourselves and being like, dog, we want to sit only at this point. And you have a fear that it won't be at that. So you want to run through everything. You want to get in there a little bit early to see if everything's going like this. You want the posters to be here. You want, everybody to see the head and everybody to have a good time and be able to sit down. A couple of my people, because we packed out the theater, like they couldn't sit down. They couldn't even see it. But so you thinking about them. You worried about them. You trying to take yourself out of it. I'm trying to make sure my dad could eat, like, you know what I'm saying? And he's good and stuff like that and so on and so forth. But and then on top of that is the anxiousness of people hearing and seeing this product for the first time and hoping that they enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And I think a friend of mine said to me, he was like, you made this product, you know that it's good. Just kind of sit in that and just understand that like this is what brought you here. This is the reason why you're here is because the product is good. But you can't hear that until you leave. And then we leave and then we have all of the conversations afterwards and everybody's like, yo, it's so good and this is that third. And I can't bring myself off of that anxiousness vibe of like, damn, something wasn't as good as it could have been, or we could have fixed this, and so on and so forth. And you only thinking about the game footage and for the next game instead of looking at it like, man, that was a really good game, you know? So
God damn, that's a bar right there. Yeah.
So,
I think that's just in life. In general, if we're gonna take it out of just the screening, like just in life in general, right? Like I think like we go through life just worrying about the next game, like,
for sure,
instead of just being like, man, that was a good game.
For real.
No, I did good yesterday. Or I did good what I'm doing right now, and I'm doing good. So I think in life, period, we got to tell ourselves.
You remember all of the shots that you missed instead of all of the shots that you made. You put up 30, you had 13 rebounds, 14 assists, and this is that, and third. But you sitting up there, man, like that 3 that I could have made at the end of the third quarter to tie the game. Like, this is that, third. My fault. I let y'all down. You like, bro, we won the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think about that all the time. Like, and I live in my mistakes more than I live in my the things that I do right, and I'm trying to get better with that. And surrounding myself with people that I love and that care about me are reminding me, like, hey, bro, like, look at the game, like, look at the footage, like, you did great, we're good. You know what I'm saying? So we getting there.
No, 100% know what you're saying, and a part of that too is like knowing. You I think you said the word, like, knowing our best. Like, I think us as people got to know, like, we did our best, and that's okay. And that's okay. Like, I read this book called The 4 Agreements, right? Yeah. The 4th agreement is always do your best.
Truly.
And he said in the book, like, your best is subjective. You
Truly,
know?
yeah.
My best doesn't reflect your best. So
exactly,
it's like being okay with, this is my best, and I'm okay with that. So bringing it back to, like, the screening is like, I think maybe in that moment you should have just been like, this is the best thing I've done, and let me just let them enjoy it and let me enjoy it. But, man.
That's fair, yeah.
I'm glad you shared that moment, though. That's very dope. I've asked this question multiple times, and a lot of people give me, like, very easygoing answers. So it's good to have somebody actually go in depth with it.
No, true.
So I appreciate that, man. So I know the project is out right now. Dancing while crying in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, indeed.
Man, I enjoyed it a lot.
Let's go. Thank you.
But first, let's talk about that title.
Yeah.
Because well, I'm gonna let you explain it. What does that title mean?
I think for the past couple years, for a while now, I think that I've been existing not as my full self, and because of that, you end up feeling like you're doing this song and dance around people. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you are fully, like, not fully revealing who you are because of whatever you got going on, trauma, depression, whatever, right? And then so you leave those spaces and you take off all of that, and then you find yourself crying in the crib by yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, figuring out, like, damn, I feel so heavy. I feel like out of it all and stuff like that. And then because of that, you go to places and you feel like you're not present, like you're not really there. You can't find your footing. I was having all of these amazing places. We was in Spain. We was, you know what I'm saying, in Australia, doing all this other crazy stuff, and I don't remember it. Like, homies be telling me, like, yo, we was here, we was doing this, that, there. And I'm like, yo, I don't remember any of it. Every place feels like nowhere. You know, it feels like I'm not really enjoying all of the things that I've, you know, worked so hard to and dreamed of my entire life or whatever like that because of the trauma and everything else. But in front of everybody, nobody could tell. Like, you know what I'm saying? My friends couldn't tell. Nobody could ever tell that I was, like, just doing a song and dance just for optics sake. And then before I knew it, I was like, oh, damn, that's what this whole project is about. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not just me, though. Like, I feel like a lot of people are doing that. I feel like people go to their jobs, they put on a smiling face. It's like, oh, man, like, man, how you doing, Jen? I'm good, man. I'm having a great time or whatever like that. She dealing with all of these other things, like Tim's doing all those other things, Derek doing all of these other stuff. And so I think, like, the more and more that I kind of sat on that, I was like, man, we're all kind of like dancing while crying in the middle of nowhere. We're all on this floating rock while things are going wrong. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure out how to stay happy and, you know, find happiness and joy amongst all of the craziness. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah.
Have you found that yet?
I don't think so.
Why? What do you think it's going to take to get you to that point?
I don't know, but I think the thing that I do know right now is I don't look at that in the saddest way anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now, like, the song and dance is, like, purposeful. Like, you know what I'm saying? We created music to dance to. You know what I'm saying? The crying is sometimes crying from laughter. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's crying from, like, to just have a good cry to, like, reset your soul, you know what I'm saying? And then the nowhere is just also understanding that we are on a floating rock in the middle of space, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, it's not, nowhere is also a blank canvas. It's something that you can make anything on. You know what I'm saying? It's not, everything doesn't have to have the negative connotation to it. And so with that, it's okay. Like I'm falling in love again with the process. I'm falling in love again with like just trying to figure things out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Being present. Like, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes present doesn't mean happiness. Sometimes present doesn't mean sadness. It just means at peace. It just means that I'm here.
Yeah.
So I'm comfortable now. Like I'll say that I'm at peace now. Like I definitely think that I'm in a place where I'm like okay. You know what I'm saying? More than I've ever been for a very long time. So yeah.
When I was thinking about that too, I thought about like a while ago. You had said, you know, you it was an interview. I can't remember the interview, and I might misquote you, and I apologize. But you said, you know, you struggle with imposter syndrome,
For sure.
and while dealing with that, you started realizing when you started becoming, I guess, okay with your skills, you realized that your peers were growing. You know, you were growing, so it was like, man, I'm in the room with people and they getting better.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting better, but when we get in the room, they getting better as well.
Yeah.
So are you dealing with? Is that kind of what you're dealing with too? While facing like what you're facing?
Oh God, I think the imposter syndrome comes from this aspect of. I think Chris, you said this, or whatever like that. This the imposter syndrome comes from is like you start to realize that nobody knows what they're doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's trying to figure it out. We're all just kids just playing this game, like trying to figure out what the next joint is. But you're only an imposter until somebody calls you a professional in that space, right? So I think in a lot of places that I was going in or whatever like that, like it's something humbling and beautiful about being surrounded by specialists, around being surrounded by individuals who really know what they're doing. Like I don't like being the smartest person in the room. And a lot of times with my peers, I don't feel like I ever am. Like I feel like I can lean on creativity. I can lean on all these other things or whatever like that. But I love listening. I love learning. I love like uploading data and stuff. So in those moments now, like even the imposter syndrome aspect, I know that whether I'm on the starting five or I'm on the top, 15 players on the NBA team? 16? 12. Boy,
I thought it was 11, but 12.
It's 12, 15? 12. Okay, and then it's the cover reserve, correct? All right. So like in that, I'm still on the team, like regardless. Some days I might start. Some days I know I have the confidence. I'm putting up 30 every single night or whatever like that. Sometimes I'm choosing to take myself and put it on the bench or whatever like that. Not because I don't think that I'm good enough to play, but this might just be the All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? And then some days, some years, I'm like, dog, I'm in the All-Star game. I made it this year. You know what I'm saying? But I always remember that I'm in the league. Like, you know what I'm saying? That I'm hooping. And this is not a spectator sport. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's giving me anything. Like I'm there because I worked to be here. You know what I'm saying? And everybody around me worked to be where they at. So keeping that in mind, it now takes me out of this space of ever feeling like I'm the imposter syndrome aspect of it. But it still comes on when you just be like, damn, like they going crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these motherfuckers is raw as hell at what they do or whatever like that. But you never know how many people look at you like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's a centering fact now. Like it grounds me a lot now to be around individuals who are that raw or whatever like that. But just trying to be present, like trying to, whether that's in silent, whether that's like, you know, me flexing and trying to do something, whatever like that. But it's always this space of being present in the process, being present and like trying to get to an end goal of something. Yeah. Even though sometimes I don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying?
Damn. And I love that the fact that you describe it in a way where you don't allow it restricts you. It's like I'm understand of other people's worth, but you know, you also aware of yours as well.
For
too.
Sure.
And that's okay. I think that's healthy to know that. But let's get to the shits, man. Like, it's a couple of things that I want to discuss from the album. Particularly one of the records. I think I repeated this like multiple times. Sitting, you know, we're in New York City, so you're on the train. I repeated this a lot, and I love this song. But I really want to discuss something with you about this song, like because I feel like you have this real attraction for mean girls, right? At least that's what I got from the Jingle record.
For sure. Yeah.
Why do mean girls attract you?
Because I kind of know that that's not real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real in terms of the emotion that you might get in that initial interaction, right? Or in any interaction like afterwards or whatever like that. You might come home, your girl pissed, and you don't know why. It's just like it just is what it is. She coming off a little bit harsh, whatever. I started to realize that wasn't because she's mean or she's an asshole or this is that and third. The world made her that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's certain things that women go through every single day of their lives where it's just like, dog, like people talking to me, things that pay disparaging, gaps, all types of shit or whatever like that, where you start to realize like, oh shit, like I'd be angry too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd be upset at a lot of shit too or whatever like that. And if you're not mad, then why not? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why are you not looking up and asking yourself like, damn, why is all of this stuff happening? And if you find peace, that's fine too. But I think for me, the song was more so centered around me trying to find the this through line and trying to find trying to meet them where they are. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want you to be anything that you're not. So if in this moment, if you need me to give you grace because you're going through whatever the world put you through today, that's fine. I'll meet you there or whatever. And then in those same exact moments, hopefully I get that grace as well. You know what I'm saying? But I think the concept is, I don't know. It's sometimes the trivial aspect of it is like, is like, girls just be like, boy, get the fuck out of my face. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. Like, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's just your demeanor or whatever like that. But that hard exterior was created by something. And it was created by the world. It was created by patriarchy. It was created by all these other isms that, like, you know, kind of set you back from, like, you being able to be your authentic, soft, wonderful self. Even if you don't want to be soft, that's fine too. But if that's what you intended on being, and this is what was created out of that, it's not your fault. You feel me? So yeah, it was like a love song and an ode to them.
To like a lot of the mean, I guess, or what society calls them.
Mean,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But real quick, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that song kind of like a ode also to Gina from Martin?
Nah, see, that's crazy.
I thought because of Chicago, I was like, hey, is that what you were doing? But
it's actually Regina George.
Okay.
But for me, I didn't want anybody to like kind of bring it back to Regina George from Mean Girls. I wanted that. I was like, dog, I don't even. They just revamped the movie. I'm good. Like, if you want to bring it to Gina, I like Gina. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I was just thinking like, because Martin was in Chicago, right? Like the show.
Was he in Detroit, right?
It was in Detroit?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I thought. Oh, was I? Of course, fucking Detroit. I don't know. For some reason, I was like, I was thinking Chicago the whole time. I don't know why, but I guess I like that better than, because my only correlation was the fact that I thought that the show was based in Chicago.
Yeah. No, that would have been crazy. At first, we thought we was figuring that like people was gonna kind of like draw that parallel to Gina from Martin, which is cool, but if that was the case, I think Pam technically the mean girl?
Pam was the mean one. She was the main girl.
Yeah.
But to your point, like it's the circumstances, you know,
Truly.
like I think a lot of you know, I hate to go into this topic because it's so taboo, but a lot of like black women get flack for who they are and their personality, but you know, that's how America made them
for sure.
into.
Guaranteed.
So it's a lot of it is like it's not on them fully. This is like a woman that's been through trauma. I think the word you used earlier. You know, that has to do it. Like if you look at just the black familyhood, like the black woman's the backbone of that shit. So it's like all that she has to carry. You understand why she moved the way she moved, and it's
guaranteed.
not because she's just like this angry person just walking around because she wants to be just angry person walking around.
I think like you even look at like the black mother, like the black matriarch in families and stuff like that, grandmothers and this, that, and third. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have these moments where they super, super sweet, and then you have these moments where they like come across like so mean and this, and the third. But it's not from a place of like someone being mean for the sake of being mean. It's mostly and always in the place of protection, in a place of like feeling like taken advantage of and feeling like, yo, I need to protect my family, feeling like I need to protect my the people around me and so forth. Like I have to take on that shield. I have to put up that shield. And that shield sometimes is to keep people back, to keep people at bay. And it just comes across like that. And that's still fine. So, yeah.
Yo, man, you said, I want to just, the project as a whole, right? I just kind of want to get a synopsis from it. Like, or understand how you were able to do what you were able to do. Like, I remember a quote from you. You probably may not remember it, but it was a while ago. You said, if you only know Philly, that's all you know. So that quote stood out to me when I was listening to the project, because I wondered, like, you know, how does a kid from Philly able to, I guess, capture the essence of Chicago music so well, being that, you know, you all you know is Philly, right?
Yeah.
So how were you able to capture that Chicago music? Because you did that so well with the project. If you listen, how were you able to? How do you feel like you were able to do that?
I think even like that phrasing, if you only know Philly, you know Philly. I think that same thing goes for most, I guess, urban areas in most cities, right? Like, you have people, like, I met people in Chicago who were like, yo, I never been downtown. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they've never seen Michigan Avenue. They've never seen, you know what I'm saying, the lake. Like, they never seen any of that shit. They've only been on the south side or the west side, right? And then in Philly, it's the same exact thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know for a long time that, like, a lot of people who were well into their 20s who never had ever been on a plane, who had never been outside of Philly, and that the more I traveled, the more I started to realize, like, this story wasn't just, you know, singular to my youth. It was damn near to everybody, right? And so I guess the Chicago sound came in because I was working with, you know, beautiful Chicago legends, you know what I'm saying, who helped me, you know, grow and help me understand music and culture. But I think that sound sometimes is synonymous with Philly too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think we are like kind of one and the same. When I first went to Chicago, the first thing that I looked around and saw, I was like, yo, this feels like Philly on a bigger scale. If Chicago feels like an East Coast city in the Midwest, like, you know what I'm saying? Just with the subways, with the trains, L's, all this other stuff or whatever like that. Like, they transit system, like, they're the only other city that I know, like, you can traverse just on the transit, on the trains and buses. You can't do that in Milwaukee. You're not doing that in St. Louis. I mean, people do it, but, like, it literally feels like an East Coast city. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so I think from that, like, I think I still have, like, all of this Philly on me. I think that it's just sometimes, how do I say this? It sometimes can be, you know, you live somewhere long enough, you're going to pick up on the lingo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that's what I did. I was blessed enough to be around amazing musicians who helped me hone my sound. And a lot of the gold, you know, trimmings that I put around my sound now, because I've been out here for so long, have now been like in the Chicago-isms. You know what I'm saying? It's like all around the rough around the edges parts that Philly made, that the gold trimmings now have Chicago on it. So yeah, I think that would be the best explanation of that.
Now I could see that. Did you do that purposefully? Because I feel like the don't let it go to your head. Also, you also capture some of that Chicago sound in that album as well. So is it intentional for you to do that, or it just kind of happened like that?
If I'm being honest, sometimes I don't even know that I'm doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know. I don't even think that I'm like purposely including anything that even feels like that. Sometimes I just feel like I'm just doing me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it just sometimes comes out like that. Like, you know, I think like when I look at like how I even approach music, sometimes it is directly in correlation with like the stuff that I listened to when I was growing up. You know, Isley Brothers, Teddy Pendergrass, you know what I'm saying, Marvin Gaye, you know, Otis Redding, like Drew Hill, you know, Beanie Siegel, State Property, like, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, you know, when you get to Chicago, all of the people that I grew up watching, like, you know what I'm saying, from Save Money to, you know, the Cool Kids to, you know, Lupe Fiasco, Kanye, like, you start to implement these styles that you're not even purposely trying to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just things that kind of got roped into my arsenal as, you know, as I got older. So yeah, I don't ever think that I'm doing it on purpose. I definitely think that it's just kind of happening. Like, I'm happy. That's beautiful to me, because I owe Chicago so much and I owe Philly so much or whatever like that. So I'm glad that I'm representing both well, you know? So,
I was gonna say, which one would you rather represent, Chicago or Philly?
I think I'm Philly dead end. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not even something that I can even explain.
Bro.
No,
I'm saying you rep Chicago too much. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm Philly dead end.
When you came to the door, you was like, Chi-Town. That's crazy, yo. This guy
if I would have walked through the door, thought about throw your C's up, throw your C's up, y'all know who, man.
But you
Chicago in the building, stop playing with me, man. Like, nah, it's so funny. It's like when I'm in Chicago, like, and I meet people like from Chicago that I've never met before in my life, the first thing they say to me, like, "You're not from here, are you?" You know what I'm saying? But then I'll go back home to Philly.
Hey, like, you're not from here?
No, that was you not from here. They be like, "Yo, what's the slang you use?" And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I picked up on Chicago lingo, and so I'm like saying certain things, and they're like, "Bro, why are you talking like that? No, you from Chicago now." Like, so I'm like, "Bro, stop playing with me." So, but it's cool.
Yeah. No, you real quick though, just to walk back real quick, because you mentioned something that I want to highlight. You mentioned some of the OGs in the music scene, and it had me thinking, like, I feel like Chicago R&B hasn't gotten the attention that it probably needed. Like, because if we look at, I'm 25, so I can only go back to the 2000s. Like, look at the Jeremiahs, the Jennifer Hudson, something Chicago kid, whatever. What's his name? DJ the Chicago kid.
Yeah.
Like, we look at all those people that had that rich R&B feeling that was popping. It just, like, it makes me wonder why hasn't that been replicated again, or that. I don't know. I mean, you're not from there, so you probably can't speak for the entirety of Chicago. But you know, if you could give some perspective, like, why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think BJ gets a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? Jeremiah too. Like, you know, I don't know. Like, I really can't pinpoint it.
I feel like the present day R&B don't really like peek through like it did back when, you know, I was younger. Like, I feel like the early 2000s shit was just pop.
Yeah, I definitely think that R&B as a whole, you know what I'm saying? You know what it is? I think that OGs started saying that R&B was dead across the board. They weren't like just saying, like, you know, and then because of that, like, it got killed on certain places, right? You had to see, like, you know, Anderson .Paak do a soul album and so on and so forth or whatever like that. Like, so I could speak from even like Philly, because I think we had a R&B, you know, renaissance that happened there, from your Jill Scouts to your Music Soul Childs to your, you know, Floetry, who came through there from the UK. You know, you had all of these individuals who were like kind of booming and blowing, and then it just kind of caps off. I think R&B, oh man, I'm gonna get crucified for saying this, but R&B like be having like an age jump. Like, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, if you grow up listening to an R&B artist, once you hit 30, after that, like, everybody who's listening to that underneath you, or was listening to that, could listen to that underneath you, is just like, yo, that sound old. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You think so?
Guaranteed. Because like R&B feels like it ages with the people, and that's why, like, you go to I guess like a Jill Scott show now or whatever like that. It's rare. You're gonna rare to see people under 25 in there. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's rare to see people under 30 in there. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see like a lot of people who are older or whatever like that, because they grew up listening to Jill Scott, and then it didn't translate back down. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just felt like an old walk. And if you do find somebody who likes Jill Scott and this, that, and third, you're gonna be like, oh damn, like an old soul. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna be like, oh, you young, like, who they gonna listen? How you gonna transition that? You know what I'm saying? From who's a new R&B artist like this out?
I like Tink.
Huh? Lucky Day. You can't go.
I fuck with Lucky Day.
Lucky Day is Sir.
You don't like Tink? Tink's from Chicago, right?
Tink's not an R&B artist.
Tink's not an R&B artist?
Tink's an R&B artist?
Yes. Tink R&B.
I thought like hip hop, like,
nah, bro. Tink, she floats. I think she floats both, but
I can see that.
I see her R&B. Her Winter Diary series. That's R&B to me.
Okay. So do you consider Future as an R&B artist too?
No, I think Future is hip hop. Because I think hip hop is, I think hip hop in general is just fluid. Yeah. I think people try to box hip hop as like, you know, boom bap. Yeah. But that's depending on what crowd you're asking. But I think hip hop is flexible. Like, Future can exist, and Common can exist as well. So I think, or D1 or whoever it is, they can all exist as one. But I have a theory about why I think R&B isn't as popping as it used to be.
What's up?
I think This is my theory. You know, this is this isn't even my theory. I don't want to take credit for it. God spoke this to me. I know I'm dead serious. No, I'm dead serious. Like, God spoke this to me. I think God told me the reason why R&B isn't popping the way that it used to be is because people are fucking instead of making love. Now, hear me out.
Yeah.
When I feel like when men used to actually make love to women, it was translating into music because you can hear the love making.
I feel that.
When you hear a song, you can hear you can visualize the love making in that song. And I feel like now when you hear R&B song, it's more like they just fucking.
Yeah.
Like they're not really taking the time to really make love.
Too. I think there's like a lot of music
that might have crossed over to R&B because everybody want to be street nowadays. Nobody actually want to make love and like court and correct. Well, I don't even know the words, but you know, to like treat a woman like a woman. So I feel like all that shit went missing.
Yeah. I feel like there's some valid R&B artists. I think like Daniel Caesar is a valid R&B artist.
I like Daniel Caesar.
Like as far as male R&B artists or whatever like that. But I think like Raven Lenae is an amazing R&B artist. I think Kehlani has like that 90s R&B sound locked and loaded. Like it's crazy. I
liked her last album. So I thought it was really good.
Yeah. So I think R&B has a resurgence point. I think that just like hip hop, it just changes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I think like R&B artists were so boxed in for so long to the point now where everybody's like trying to move out of that space of being like, maybe it's not just about falling in love with somebody. Maybe it's about like, I don't know how this coffee table would feel, but like, let me write a song about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like I don't know. Like sometimes to me, I think we ran out of love songs. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think people ran out of like songs to make to talk about love. Like, you know what I'm saying? And even with like my projects now, like I want to make new songs about how to fall in love or like what love looks like or like the different small, you know, details of what love is or whatever. It doesn't always have to be like making love or like falling in love or falling out of love. Like everything became like a breakup song or a makeup song. Like nothing was about what it feels like on that third date when you realize that you don't actually like that person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody made a song about like, damn, like I'm so nervous to talk to Shorty because I like her too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I could never even tell her this, so I'm skipping and falling all over myself. What does that song sound like? You know? And I think that's the place that we needed to go, and I think we got lost along the way. And I think we're finding our way back though. Yeah.
Let's stay on the theme of love though. I'm glad you drove it that way because I wanted to ask you something, and it stemmed from something you said. You know, you said that you wanted to preach self-love. Yeah. Like that's something that you wanted to put emphasis on. Yeah. And I like that, but it had me thinking like all the negativity in this world. Yeah. Like I feel like, do you feel like it's because of lack of self-love? Yeah. I think it's a lack of self-awareness too. I think we got on this ship where we started social media included, like, or social media to be the death of it, if I'm being honest. It has this thing where you comment on everybody else's life. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what your low point is, your high point is, this, that, there are people on social media who are commenting on other people's lives and their existence and how they live and what they did right and what they did wrong and so on and so forth. And even the thing that we're playing with in this rollout is, like, what you believe to be real, you know what I'm saying, online. Like, you know, like everybody's like, just, we put up a clip of me arguing with the director of a video, right? Went viral. A bunch of people are just, a bunch of directors and actors are being like, man, this is unprofessional. It's fake. It's not even real. It's fake. Y'all care too much, like, about this fake dialogue that I'm having with this person. And then I think one of the first comments that went up there was like, a person said, this color graded ass argument, this color graded 40K ass argument. And it's real. Like, that's a real statement. But that happens so often to the point that we never look at ourselves in the mirror. We never, and a lot of my music, I try to be the anti-hero. I'm not the guy who's winning. I'm always looking at myself. I can only make songs about what I did wrong because eventually, at some point in my life, I'm going to look back and be like, whatever statement I made about you probably was false. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was me in anger. It was me, you know, in lust. It was me in like some emotion that
kind of clouded my actual perception of you. And then if I look at you like a human, then I can see like, oh damn, you made a mistake, or oh damn, you did this wrong, or oh damn, it was my fault. Like I didn't realize how I triggered you in this way, so on and so forth. The more and more, if we all looked at ourselves in the mirror and like kind of looked at it like, damn, what did I do wrong in that situation? How can I make that better? I think that it would be so easier to love ourselves, number one, and secondly, it would be so easy to love somebody else because nobody would be too far off the reservation to fall in love with. Like, you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, damn, like, you a good person. You trying to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's all we can ever do.
Try.
So, yeah.
You know what's so crazy, man? You fucked me up with the self-awareness part. I was thinking about something that happened this morning. I work in radio.
Okay.
I work in morning radio, and we had this lady called in, random woman called in today, and she said something so profound. At least to me, it was profound.
Yeah.
And she was like, I know I'm never going to find a man. Like, literally. I know it sounds crazy, but she was like, I grew up with a single mother that was a drug addict, that was on, she was drunk all the time. I adapted those traits, so now I be mad for no reason. I just be snapping at men. All the breakups has been my fault.
Damn.
But that self-awareness
Truly.
people don't have. And she was like, I know no man wants to deal. Literally, that's what she was like. I know
crazy.
no man wants to deal with my trauma and my shit that I have.
Damn.
So I know I'm not gonna find a man anytime soon.
Damn.
But to be able to be aware of that,
Yeah.
a lot of people need to have that type of self-awareness, bro.
For sure. The thing that I hope for that lady, that wonderful human being, is that self-awareness goes to the second phase, which is like trying to fix it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I think for me, even like, I looked at all of my flaws and all the things that I did wrong, and I was just like, man, like, how do I fix these things though? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be this person forever. I don't want to feel like I'm an unlovable person. I know like my flaws. I know when my trigger points and when I jump off and this, that, and the third. I want to be. I want to get to a place where, like, I take that time, like, where I start to break down those small things that I do wrong, or small things that I think that I do wrong, and try to fix them in some type of way. And I hope that wonderful human does the exact same thing, because that's terrible. I hate that she feels that way, that she get like she's unlovable. Somebody will love you, promise. Like,
I mean, it's okay for somebody not to. See, that's the thing, though. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay for somebody not to love you. It's okay, yes. But
like
as long as you know that, I feel like that's okay.
Man, I know, but I feel like everybody deserves love. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody deserves my fault.
Okay.
I feel like everybody deserves love. I feel like everybody deserves to.
But let me push back though. What if you're somebody who just love yourself and you're okay with that? Like, I don't need love from other person, because this might be a stupid question, but is love like a validation thing, kind of?
In some ways, yeah. I think it's.
And what if I don't need
that validation?
validation?
That's real. I don't. If you choose to be, there are loners on this planet who choose to be like, nah, I don't need nothing. I'm good. I think Eartha Kitt, had this beautiful saying where she was like, what do a man companionship? What do I need a man for? She was like going off and laughing hysterically and stuff. And that's beautiful. Like, if that's the place that you want to be. But I'm assuming from the conversation that you was having with that woman is that she wants to feel love. She knows that a person can't love her in the place that she's in, but she wants to feel it. And I hope that people in those positions can some way or somehow figure out a way to or figure out someone around them who can love them. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that that's no one deserves to walk through this life without love.
Yeah.
I think love is a beautiful thing. I think the first time that I discovered it and I felt it, it changed like my outlook on how I looked at the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? I knew that like beautiful things were capable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was capable of beautiful things myself.
That sounds like lust to me.
You know what I'm saying? Nah. Like, beautiful things such as like sunrises, beautiful things such as like, you know what I'm saying, birth, beautiful things such as like, you know what I'm saying, someone being able to wake up and say they kid and take their kid to school or whatever like that. Beautiful things of like just joy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Beautiful things of like walking in the rain on a hot day or whatever like that. Like those, it's not always like about like a person. It's sometimes about like love comes from places of uncomprehension. Like love comes from places like where I'm like trying to figure out like why the hell I just smiled and I was just walking down the street for no reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't even think of it. It's just on me. You know what I'm saying? And it's because somebody thought about me and they probably, like in that moment, was like, man, I love Zig. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, it's just, I felt it. You know what I'm saying? So
I think that goes back to your point of self-love.
Yeah.
Because, like, I remember I was having a conversation with somebody and I said, I think we've mixed, I can't pronounce shit, so excuse me, but we've mixed solitude and loneliness. Yeah. And I think it's confused people. Yeah. It's okay to be in solitude.
Guaranteed, that's a choice, yeah, for sure.
And I think that's how you form self-love. That's how you understand yourself. That's how you become aware.
You have to fall in love with yourself like
that.
You
have to fall in love with yourself. And I think people are like, that it's becoming like a taboo thing because people think, oh, I'm not lonely. Like, I don't want to be that lonely person.
I see what you're saying.
There's nothing wrong with being alone. I think you used the word earlier. There's nothing wrong with being alone. Like, but we just have to understand that. So I want to get back to self-love because there was something that reminded me of that. And it was it's a recent thing that just happened. It's a historical thing too. This Kendrick and Drake shit, right? Yeah. There was a line that Kendrick said that reminded me of the self-love thing that you talked about. And he was like, fuck a rap battle. He was like, fuck a rap battle. Oh, yeah. You in a real life battle
with yourself.
Yeah. God damn. Like that shit had me thinking. I was like, because when you said that about self-love, I was like, that's literally all this man was just trying to get this man to understand. It's like, yo, you just don't love yourself. Bro.
Period. That don't got nothing to do with me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Got nothing to do with me. Stop trying to project your pain on innocent people. Yeah. And worry about you, bro.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that like, I think a lot of people are walking around in other people's perception of them. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
like,
okay.
And you fail to realize that your problems of why you can't get to the next place that you're going is because I'm wrapped up in someone else's perception of who I'm supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you finally got the person that you want, and you always saying to yourself, like, but you're compromising so much. You know what I'm saying? To the point that you're no longer yourself. You're doing a lot of things that you don't even enjoy, but you wanted this person so bad. That's not your person. That's just something that you thought you wanted until you got to that place. And if you loved yourself, if you loved everything about you, I found it like this, right? If I'm talking to a girl, right, and I say a joke or whatever, and it don't go over, and she like don't laugh, and she like, what was that? That might be dead. Like, you know what I'm saying? You not my type. Yeah, like, that's okay. I don't have no problems with it. That's beautiful. But I just realized in that moment, like, you're not for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't even got the same sense of humor. And it might not just be that small detail. I'm not going to just walk off the date from that. But if it keeps on going and I feel like, you know what I'm saying? It's like oil and water and we trying to make something mix and it just doesn't work. And I'm just attracted to you and that's it. I got to go elsewhere. Like, that's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people do that. Not just in that, they do that in their careers, everything else. They just go that way because, like, maybe the money looked good to them or this, that, and third. And then you reach that end point and you say to yourself, like, why am I not happy?
So to what you're explaining, a lot of people operate in this fake world that they're living in.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I do sometimes too. Like, where I'm just like, where I realize I'm playing this game because of the thing that I thought that I wanted versus like the thing that I actually want. So yeah, trying to get better with that every day. Like,
that's so crazy. You said so do you, because that's and I mean, take it how you want to, but that's something I realized while learning about your story. Yeah. And that's what I wanted to ask you is, when did you like, how did it impact you when you realized that this world operate in WWE?
We talk about this all the time, like the simulation theory thing. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll go to a restaurant and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, like the restaurant would just start populating. We'd be like, bro, it was no one in here. And then all of a sudden we just walked in there and just people just started walking in there. I think, like, if you believe that on the negative side, you have to believe it on the positive side. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, so if the positive side of that is manifestation, like, you know what I'm saying? The manifestation aspect is if you think of something and think of beautiful thoughts and this is that and the third, then that's what's going to happen. Like, I think it's called like the red card theory or something like that, where it's just like every single time that if you think of a red car, you're going to keep on seeing red cars. Yeah. It's the exact same way about like life and like existing. If you think of bad thoughts and terrible things, then terrible things going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I can't even sing Steve Lacy's something bad's about to happen. Bro, I always feel like I'm like talking it up in my own existence. You know what I'm saying? But like if I think about positive things and all this other stuff, then I feel like because if I believe that this is a simulation and this is not real or whatever like that, then why can't I make the amazing things happen for me as well? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like play the game then. Like it's a video game then. And I drive the speed limit on Grand Theft Auto. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I get a nice car. I don't want to wreck my car on Grand Theft Auto. I'm doing the same thing in real life. If I think it's fake, I'm still going to be like, let me live it like it's real, just in case. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
How do you carry that mindset with the music business? Because that's a different... everything is not real in the music business, right?
Yeah.
Like, people call you bro, sis.
You don't know me. Like, you don't know me. I think I surround myself by people that I know are real. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like I'm surrounded by main characters. Like, you know what I'm saying? We all at one point or another. I say this all the time. The music industry is a bunch of people who were cool at one point or another. Maybe this is not I guess the majority rule or whatever like that. But I think the music industry were a bunch of people who, especially if you come to a different city, you were cool wherever you were. You were the man in your high school. This is done the third. Everybody knew you and so on and so forth. And it's like you get to the league the exact same way that like basketball happens or whatever, right? You might have been a D1 player in your school, in your city, in your state, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, you get to the NBA and you're just like one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? And then you start to realize like, damn, maybe I'm not hooping like I thought I was.
Yeah.
But how I deal with the real aspect of that is I surround myself by people who gonna tell me straight up like, hey man, it's really your dribble package. Ooh. For real? Nah, it's really because you like you slowing down on that every time you hit baseline. What? Yeah, it's really if you cut this corner and stuff like that. If you hang around real people, they're gonna tell you that instead of hanging around the people like, man, you in the league, bro. Man, you made it, baby. Like you in the league, man. Like, nah, I don't want that, man. I want you to tell me like, yo, my jump shot crooked, like for real, like that's what's happening. Tuck my elbow in. All right, got you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's gonna make it to the point where when we're in the All-Star game, it's like, hey, bro, you really hooping. Yeah. And when you say that to me, I believe it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Instead of it just being a saying that somebody says to you or whatever, I hang around people who are real. I hang around people who don't just tell me yes for no reason. I hang around people that we have arguments, I don't even want to say arguments. I want to say disagreements about things. And we go back and forth and we figure out exactly like what the end goal is. They hear me out. I hear them out. And I want that. I don't want that other shit. I only want that. That's how I know that it's real. Yeah. If it's fake, it's going to be like, yeah, man, that's cold. Man, that's cold. Man, oh, that's cold. Like, no, don't give me all of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
is that hard to find?
Yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah.
But I think when you are inherently trying to be like a good person and a real human being, you will be surrounded. Yeah. I mean, you're going to attract sharks too, but hopefully those good people around you too will kind of fend off the sharks as well. You know what I'm saying? But it's trust and community, man. Like, I've known these people for tens of years. So, you know what I'm saying? Is that even a saying? Tens of years?
Man, say whatever
you know what I'm saying?
Want.
Like, but yeah, I've known these people for like, multiple, you know what I'm saying, digit years. And so like, there it is. But I think, when that happens or whatever like that, after a while, it's like, dog, it can't be fake. Because if you've been faking this shit for 12 years, that's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? You've been the exact same person, the exact same real human being that I've met every single time that I met you for 12 years. You have to be the real, like that's actually you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Eventually you're going to slip up. You know what I'm saying? Eventually you're going to be like, damn, this person is fake as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? But nah, it's crazy. Yeah.
I don't think that necessarily makes them fake though. Because I guess it depends what the slip up is.
No, the slip up be crazy, bro. You'll find somebody and then it's just like that, there was a...
Because don't it mean like to cut you off? No, I hate saying not to cut you off, but to cut you off. Don't it mean that they're just comfortable around you to...
See, that's the difference though. Comfortability in like your mannerisms, for instance, like I think I'm naturally a hater. Like,
no, I am too.
You know what I'm saying? But I think at a great point, well, Chris says this. He says like haters make you better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you need like haters to tell you that something's like that. If me hating on something like allows me to examine something from a larger point of view and say like, damn, something's wrong here, right?
Keep talking. You know
what I'm saying?
I gotta find his quote and read it to you.
And so there's nothing wrong with that, right? But me being comfortable around you might be one day you see me like hating on something, like, man, you see what the fuck he had on and some shit like that. that's not me like slipping up and you being like, damn, he a terrible human being. That's me being like, no, I'm comfortable with you. My whole personality doesn't change though. I'm the same person regardless. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you gonna see that regardless. Somebody slipping up in their character being completely different. Like you see somebody and it's like, nah, like you would stab me in the back if you got the chance. You would backdoor me if you had the chance or whatever like that. That's a completely different human being. Like, and I just see you smiling and I see like the wrinkles like kind of twitching because you don't really want to smile. You just doing it just to do it because you want to be cool. Like, nah, that's weird. You know what I'm saying?
I guess that's the extreme.
It's definitely the extreme. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I'm thinking more like, you know, you vibing with a person because when you first get to know somebody, everybody's trying to keep their best feet forward for sure. Because we regardless of what people say, I'm always give me. It's like, nah, we all trying to impress people. We all trying to impress people. It's just literally, it's just the natural humans. It's like what you wear. I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm a minimal motherfucker. But whatever you're wearing, the smell, whatever.
It's for something.
It's for something.
Yeah.
So I think throughout that time frame, once you like get to know that person, then I feel like you let your guard down because you trust the other person, right? Or you create some type of bond where you like, you know what? Let me let you in now. Pause. That was crazy, but yes. So that I think that does work. But the quote that I wanted to refer back to is you was talking about hate. The quote said, "Hate is just a truth, honest observation. But if you don't want to hear the truth, you'll say that the person's hating."
It's real.
Come on, man.
That's real.
That's why I say I love being a hater.
No, for sure.
Because I'm just
real.
true.
Yes.
I'm tell you the truth.
Yeah, that's real.
You don't want to hear the truth, you say you're hating. But I'm going to get you out of here, man. I have one last question. And it's really just, I was very curious about this when I was reading this article and it said that you were a Grammy award-winning rapper. And I wanted to know, like, because we hear that a lot.
Yeah.
If you can describe, like, how would you describe how, I guess, that title has impacted your career, if it even has?
I don't think it has. I think, like, it's one of those things where you hear it and you just like, is that even real? Like, you know what I'm saying? Is that like I said, I was saying earlier, like, I keep the certificates in my car. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's still in the FedEx thing that it was shipped to me. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I want to prove that I deserve that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's someone saying like, oh, Grammy Award winning artist, this is that third singer, songwriter, whatever. I want to prove that I deserve that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want you to, at the end of the day, if someone didn't tell you that I was that, you would say like, damn, like, bro got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I hear people, the way that they talk about Stevie Wonder or James Fauntleroy or Donny Hathaway or, like, you know what I'm saying? Or, Aretha Franklin or Prince or Michael Jackson, like they don't talk about them like a but. Nobody says like, but they, like, you know what I'm saying? It's always like, nah, they're universally universe.
I can't pronounce it either. I'm with you.
How do you say that?
Say however you want to say it.
I'm saying that right. Universally accepted and regarded as really good musicians. It's not a question about it. I want that. You know what I'm saying? All of the accolades I do don't. It's like a football player saying they don't want a Super Bowl ring. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a NBA player saying they don't ever want to win the finals. I want it. Like, I was gonna say, don't come up here and lie. Nah. I want that. I want that. I want the accolades, but I also want it to be to not be a conversation of how I got it.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because it does feel good as an artist.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, a lot of people be like, oh, we protesting and all that extra stuff. But it's like, you can't sit there. And also, like, I hate people that try to protest shit that they would never get. It's like you're not the person that they care about. Your voice don't really matter. No, you're trying to protest shit. You would never get a Grammy. You trying to protest the Grammy. Like, sit down, nigga. You're not even invited to the Grammy. Fuck out of here, man. Nah, I just hate that shit. But the validation, you know, like we talked about earlier, I'm that serious, man. But validation really, like, as much as there is like this like stigma on it,
for sure,
you know, I think it has some sort of good to it, you know.
It does. I mean, I like to feel validated by my peers. I like to be validated by people that I respect and I care about their opinions. And if they tell me that something's good, then I feel like we got something good. If they tell me like we need to do better or we can do better, then cool. But I'm also my own worst critic. I'm always think that we could go harder. You know what I'm saying? So I think with that, keeping that in mind, like, how could we ever fail? You feel me? So.